Hey, I'm Kai, and today I'm doing a bit of a deeper look into the Crab BE50. I did a unboxing and first impression sort of review the other day, and a lot of people seem to really enjoy it. I just wanted to spend this video to dial in some more tones. Also, if there's anything in particular you want to see me doing with this amplifier, drop a comment down below letting me know. In case you didn't catch the unboxing video, this is a $550 tube amp hand-built in Ukraine. The preamp is of course based on the Friedman BE100 Deluxe, though the power amp section is completely different. Now, I don't want to spend a ton of time on the preamble and overview sort of thing for this video, so I'm just going to get straight into my rig. I'm running out from the Crab into my SUR reactive load, then out to my DAW where I'm loading up the ML Soundlab Mega Original cab pack. I'll pepper in a few pedals throughout this video, but the main focus is going to be on the amp itself. I'm starting out on the clean channel with my dad's Tokai custom shop Love Rock DC2. This is a fantastic pairing for a British voiced amp like this. It's fairly low output, but it's versatile enough to take us all the way up to those sort of mid to high gain sections. I'll start out with a nice sparkly clean tone on the clean channel, and then I'll add in some effects and take it to something a little bit more ambient. I really enjoy this clean channel. It's super clean even at higher volumes. That said, I'm generally not a fan of super dry sounding clean tones like this, so I'll throw on some of these effects. I've got the CPB compressor pedal up front, and then in the effects loop I'm running the Line 6 HX1 on the Ganymede setting. I'm also running the Wampler Doctor pedal for a little bit of delay. I'm also switching to the middle position for this with both of the humbuckers split. I just think this is generally a fantastic clean tone. Obviously, I didn't buy an amp like this for the cleans, but I'm happy to say that this does hang with the best of them. Now, while it's true that this clean channel does stay pretty clean, since I'm using the SUR reactive load box, I can actually raise the volume of the amplifier until it starts to crunch, and then just compensate with the volume on the SUR. So this is with the volume on the amp up about halfway, and I think if I was running this through the cabinet this would be way too loud, but with the SUR it's possible. And also it's still fairly clean depending on the dynamics, it just happens to get really hairy if you dig in hard. I think this is a great sound. It's not something you would reliably be able to achieve, especially in a live setup, but I really like it for the studio sort of thing that I'm running here. I'll switch over to the first of two overdrive channels now, and this can be a little bit tricky to dial in. We have so many different switches and knobs available that it can be a bit overwhelming. I'll start by trying to get this channel as clean as it can possibly go. We can do this by bringing the gain knob down right to the point where it just starts to kick in, and then just match it with the volume. I'll keep all the saturation and extra gain switches off to get the maximum amount of clean out of this. So this is the next step up from the highest gain that the clean channel went. I don't mind that tone, but because we've got the gain so low, it does feel like it's a little bit choked out. Let's raise the gain and do a mid-gain sort of thing instead. So we've still got the saturation and structure switches off, but we start to get that mid-gain crunchy sort of thing between sort of 9 o'clock and noon on the gain knob. I'm going to show you what this is doing first, and then I'm going to throw a fuzz on afterwards. It's pretty good. It's not quite that classic rock saturation thing just yet, but we will get there. I think this is a pretty open platform for pretty much stacking with any pedal. It'd take a boost nicely for some solos, it'd take an overdrive pretty well for that 80s hard rock sort of thing, it'd take a fuzz pretty well for some 90s grunge, just generally pretty open. The fuzz I'm picking here is going to be the Swollen Pickle. I've recently got this one back and I'm absolutely loving it all over again. It's straight on my board, let's hear what it sounds like. Maybe I set up that Swollen Pickle a little bit too aggressively there. We started to get into some of that sort of HM2 territory. If I'd have planned this better, I probably would have swapped back to the regular Big Muff for this video, but I'm enjoying the Swollen Pickle, it's fun. Now before I get into some of the high gain tones that this amp has to offer, I want to switch out guitars to something in drop C instead. Of course that means I'm going to be switching out to my PRS S2, which has an Evertune bridge and Seymour Duncan Pegasus sentient pickups. Just quickly though, if you do enjoy what I do on this channel, please drop a subscribe and check out my Tonne affiliate links in the description box down below. So we're now in drop C, let's engage the structure and saturation controls on the amplifier and see how much gain we can get out of the overdrive 1 channel. This one does get a little bit noisy, so it's something to be aware of. I'm not sure whether it's due to the toroidal transformers, whether it's the enclosure, or just the setup that I've got running here. The noise does get significantly worse when I get closer to the amp, so it may just be that it's not completely isolated. I can of course gate this one out pretty easily with a noise gate, so it's not something I'm super concerned about. So the gain knob on the amplifier is still in the same spot, but we've engaged the structure and the saturation switches, played about with the EQ, and I've also pulled the negative feedback down from 10 to about 6. Now that's already sounding pretty hairy, but we can boost this one even further with the Earthquaker Devices Plumes and get some extremely modded modern British territory going on. Now this is great for single note riffs, it's not super tight, but it is an awful lot of fun. We're going to move over to the HOD channel and I'll do the same sort of thing I did for the regular OD channel. We'll start getting it as low gain as we possibly can. This channel starts out an awful lot crunchier than the regular OD channel, but it's a vibe. I think I will have to shoot out the HOD and the regular OD channels in a future video. The HOD with the gain down low sounds a lot less choked than the OD channel with the gain set to about match. Pushing this channel up into the mid gain is where we really start to get some of that classic British crunch sort of thing. I really love this tone. It responds really well to your picking dynamics. You can get a super clean tone just by playing softly, or you can really dig in hard and get to just completely chug out. It's just a really nice dynamic tone that's super versatile. Now finally for the HOD channel, I want to try the gain up super high with the structure and the saturation switches engaged to just give us the most amount of fire breathing that this amp can give. I think this is going to be where a lot of those sort of mastodon type tones hit, those hard rock tones that are super punchy and thick. Again, this is a pretty noisy tone, so we are going to have to gate this one out with the Zool Plus noise gate. I don't think this tone is particularly tight by any means, but it's chunky, thick, and an awful lot of fun to play to. Now, sticking with the HOD channel, I do have to try something a little bit silly, as you can probably see. This is the Hello Kitty Squire Stratocaster, which is currently tuned down to drop D. First, I've set up quite a nice crunch tone for this, but that's not why we're here. The reason why I've got this guitar is because it's so bright and it pairs really nicely with the ZeroFret Black Russian Rat. I've been absolutely loving this pedal recently. It's a blend of the Black Russian Big Muff and the Proco Rat. It works great when it's pushed the volume past unity gain, so it's really pushing the front end of the amplifier. It's big, it's thick, it's doomy, and I'm going to stop talking about it and just start playing. When I posted a clip with this combo on my Instagram and my TikTok, I had people telling me it was too buzzy, too fuzzy, too thick, and too muddy. I personally completely disagree with that. I think this sounds great. I think it sounds like an amp on the brink of total collapse. The final tone that I'm doing for this video is one that was requested a few times when I posted my unboxing video. How well this amp handles a 30-inch scale drop E guitar. So this is my G4M 638 baritone with pickups from Ryan's Mod Shop, otherwise known as Rain on YouTube. Now these pickups are incredibly low output and they're really designed to be pushed with a boost running super hard into the front end of the amplifier. For this I'll use the grinder side of my Guptech Mad Shoe, which is based on the 1433. I will say this is not an easy tone to play through by any means, though I find that to be the case with a lot of low output pickups in high gain scenarios. It also introduces quite a lot more noise into the fold as we're having to boost the amp quite a lot more. Still though, it's a sound that would work really great in a dense mix. I do hope you enjoyed those tones. I kept the same IR throughout all of them so that we could have a better consistency, though some of them definitely would have benefited from this IR being swapped out. I found that there are so many different areas I would like to explore with this amp and I'm having so much fun trying to dig into them. Let me know in the comment section down below which one of these tones was your favorite and how you would use this amplifier. Personally, I am all about those high gain dynamic tones, not these super maxed out gain things, but the ones just before that. Also, let me know what you'd like to see me do with this amplifier next. Should I do a full run through with all of the knobs, every single switch, running through different guitars, different pedals, all that sorts of thing, or do you want something a little bit shorter? Would you like to hear it in a full mix demo? Would you like to hear it through different guitars maybe? Or maybe even running through my real cabinet? I definitely still need to spend more time learning trying this amp before I do a full deep dive. I'm enjoying it an awful lot, don't get me wrong, but I do need to really learn it. The noise issue is something of a problem, and it's probably the main downfall of this amplifier, but it's something that I'm willing to overlook, especially considering 99% of the time you can just gate it out. The cleans are absolutely pristine and perfect. The edge of breakup tones are maybe a little bit harder to find, but they are there if you're looking. The crunch tones are that classic crunch that you're looking for with an amp like this, and the high gain tones are just absolutely crushing. I haven't found it to take a boost pedal quite as well as I'd hoped, but that could just be down to user error. Normally I can run the Guptec Mad Shoe into the front end of just about anything and it'll instantly tighten it up as a one button boost sort of thing, but I found that this amp doesn't really like it as much. Maybe it just requires a little bit more attention though. I mean, on the overdrive channels we have 4 different switches and 3 of those are 3 position. We also have a negative feedback control, we have bass, middle, treble, depth, presence. There's a lot to get into with this. I would not be surprised if I just haven't found the trick to running a boost pedal with this one yet. So I've been asked a bunch of times how you go about ordering these crap amps, as they don't have a website or anything like that. The way you do it is reach out to them either through email or over Instagram or something like that and set your order up through DMs instead. If you could also tell him that I sent you when you go there, I would appreciate that, of course. Also, I would love it if you could check out the tonne affiliate links in the description box down below. I've kept it up to date with most of the gear that I'm using that's currently available there, and I do get a little bit of kickback from those links. Thank you ever so much for sticking around to the end of the video, I really do appreciate it. That's all for this one though, so until next time, I've been Kai.